Hi, this is Taylor Garcia. This is the case study for EDL 852, Intro to Building Administration. We are going to begin by summarizing the case. So what has happened, or what is happening so far, is that this community is having a lot of population growth. There's a disagreement throughout the community members about how to handle that growth and what to do with the schools and how they are arranged and how many buildings there are. They come up with three options. The school board decides to build a new middle school, and after they decide to build this new middle school, they hire a new administrator who is somebody from outside of the district who is coming in, and after that, the new administrator creates an advisory committee to help make decisions about the new school. This occurs in Lightville Community School District, which is a rural community. The schools are located on a 65-acre site. There are only 2 buildings on the site, and those 2 buildings are located 2 miles from the actual city of Lightville. Everyone that is involved up to this point in this situation is Susan Potter, who is the new middle school principal, Helen Burke, who is the advisory committee chair, and then any new staff members that have been hired to work at this new school in the next 12 months. Anyone that has been harmed so far in this situation is Susan Potter. She's the new principal. She might be feeling defeated, kind of ganged up on by this advisory committee that she has designed. And then also the community members, they might be feeling like their opinions don't really matter because there was a lot of people who didn't want to build the new school, but then that's what the school board ended up doing anyway, so they might be feeling a little like brushed off and like they don't matter. I don't believe that this issue is contravening with any existing law. I don't know all the details of the contract for Susan, Helen, or any of the other members involved, but I do not think that there has been a breach of contract. The only discriminatory or constitutional harassment actions that have happened is maybe Helen just using her chair position and position of power to get what she wants. So rather than her remaining professional about it, she's kind of gone out and kind of got people to be on her side. So she's kind of using her power to get what she wants. So far exactly what has happened, Helen Burke, who is the advisory committee chair member, wants Susan Potter to design a vision statement that rather than the committee coming together and collaboratively developing a school vision statement for this unopened middle school. So far what we know about the people, Susan Potter is a new principal. We know that there was 4 months of public debate about the issue of building a new school or adding on or not doing anything. And we know the approval rate from the people, from the board, was 53% to 47% approval. What we don't know is why there's being so much emphasis put on the vision statement right now, and is there going to be any sort of evaluating existing vision statements from like schools that are in the surrounding area or schools that are already within that district. What we know about the place is that there is increasing population rates. We know that it is located within 10 miles of a major city and that 60% of the residents in this community live on farms, so they're farming families. Things that we don't know is why so many people were against the new school. Was it the cost? Was it the fact of a new building coming up? We don't really know their strong feelings against this new building, and how many new families are there in the community that have been moving in. Things that we do know about the program is that it is a public school system and it will be serving grades 6, 7, and 8. Some things that we don't know is the extracurriculars that will be offered. Are all grades going to be allowed to participate? How will those types of things be handled? Those types of things have not been shared. I think that this could be damaging to stakeholders or the community. For the stakeholders, this was a really large money investment for them to go out and build a new school. It was the most expensive option of the 3 that they had to choose from. And I also think that this could be damaging to the community because it's really divided the community into 3 factions. those who wanted to do nothing, those who wanted to just add on to the 2 schools they already had, and those who wanted to build this new school. So they've really been kind of separated out into those 3 groups of people in the community. I think that people who have important roles in this situation are Susan, who's the new principal. She's probably feeling a lot of pressure to successfully run this new school with staff and students. The superintendent and the board members, they really have to take responsibility for their decision of opening this new school and hiring a new administrator and bringing in somebody from outside of the district, so they're going to have to take that on. And then teachers and staff, and then that would kind of trickle down to the students. The teachers are either going to be working in a functioning school with great leadership and this great advisory committee, or a school that has division in it between the leadership and this advisory committee before the school even opens, and that will really trickle down and affect the students. I don't think that all the stakeholders have been consulted yet. I think that Susan's responsibility as a leader is to step up and reach out to leadership above her, or even the superintendent, just so she can discuss the issue, explain the situation, get any feedback, get any advice, and get support moving forward so that she can make decisions knowing that she is supported. I think that I can learn more about this situation. I want to know, why are we not worried about a mission statement? We're so worried about the vision statement, but to me, you need a mission statement. Your mission is your goal of what you're going to do in this school, and your vision is, what are the steps or what are the things we're going to do to reach that goal? So I want to know, why is there so much focus on the vision rather than a mission and a vision statement, which kind of go hand in hand. I want to know, what does some of the data look like? You kind of need to know about the school and the community and the kids who are coming in before you can really zone in on a mission statement. You could be reviewing achievement, academic, behavior, attendance data. There's lots of things out there that I'm sure that they could be accessing. And then, are there any other responsibilities for Susan as the new building leader and Helen and the rest of the committee? Because they both had a list of responsibilities that they needed to take care of. Are those things taken care of yet, or are we kind of getting ahead of ourselves? With all that being said, I do still have questions. However, I do feel like I have enough information to make an informed decision. We have a lot of information and even direct dialect that I feel confident that I could make a decision if I were in a leadership position. So some options for this situation: 1 would be do what the committee says. 2 would be to do the extreme opposite and take over and just resume all power and basically force them to collaboratively design this vision statement the way that Susan's wanting. Another option would be to work with Helen, just table the vision statement and delegate her new responsibilities. Another option would be to build relationships with committee members. And then a final option would be to go out and build relationships throughout the community. This is a new community to her, so I think that going out and learning about the community, the stakeholders, the families, the students would really benefit her. So there's pros and cons to every option. So the pro of doing what the committee says is they're going to be happy, the job's going to get done, you can move on. The cons for Susan would be she's going to be opening herself up to criticism because they want her to present a vision statement and then they want to say, yes, we like it, or no, we don't. Another con is that the vision statement's really being told. It's saying, this is my vision. Now, since this is my vision, this is your vision as well. So she's really telling them what to do, and that's really not Susan's leadership style from this committee that she's designed and everything that we know about her so far. Pros and cons for the other extreme option would be to just take over and take over power. Pros would be that the committee members would have to contribute ideas, so that'd be good for Susan. That's what she wants. But there's a lot of cons to this one. She would be losing their trust because she's taking back power after she said that's not what she wanted. The members are going to be unhappy, and they're really going to be forced to complete the task. They're not going to do it because they want to. They're going to do it because they have to. The next option would be to work with Helen. So the pros would be build a relationship with her, learn about why she has reservations about the way Susan is wanting to do things, and you can develop a comprehensive plan with her. Some cons is that Helen might feel angered or overwhelmed that she's going to have to spend even more extra time working with Susan and getting to know her, and she might feel kind of forced into this role or responsibility as the committee chair. And then the pros and cons for building a relationship with committee members. Pros, she's going to get to know the members that she's working with, know their style, know what they like, know what they don't like, and it really shows that she cares. However, this is going to take extra time, which is something I'm sure that Susan doesn't have. She already has a long list of other things she needs to be worrying about. And then my last option would be to build relationships throughout the community. It shows that you care about the community, but again, it's just going to take a lot of that extra time. So that's just up to her as to if she would really want to delegate a lot of extra time to go out and get to know people in the community. The best option for me would be to work with Helen. That seems to be where most of the tension is held is between Susan and Helen. Helen agreed to take on this role. She didn't really want the role of being the committee chair. She just agreed to it. And Helen has already shown that she has an influential role in the community and within the committee. And for Susan, this is really showing Helen that this is something that's important to her. She's not going to go back on her word. She's not going to take back power. She really wants someone else to be in charge and help her get this building started in a successful manner. So moving forward with that plan, I would privately tell Helen that you're going to table the vision statement. Let her know your plan moving forward. Explain how it's not really the most pressing issue right now. Create a meeting schedule with Helen. Tell her it's important for you to get to know her and know more about her and what she likes and what she dislikes being in this new leadership role. And then have her move forward with new responsibilities that you're going to delegate her. What may happen, Helen might be happy. She might be happy that we're just going to let go of the vision statement debate for now and move on. But she could also feel overwhelmed because, again, it's going to take that extra time out of her schedule to sit down, meet with Susan, talk with Susan, brainstorm with Susan, and work on these new responsibilities. But I think moving forward, they would both have an open mind, and that would be really important for them to be successful. People that need to know about this, again, Susan needs to reach out to her leadership above her. Just have them know the situation so that they can support her, give her advice, give her feedback on how to handle things. Helen obviously needs to know because she's a main factor in this whole situation. And then let the other committee members know that we're going to stop the vision debate because that's already been public, but keep them in the know and let them know why you're making these changes so that they feel like they are a part of the committee, an important part of it. I do think that if I were in Susan's situation and this were me, I would be able to handle it on my own. Again, just review that plan with your superintendent or your leadership so that they can be supporting you, giving you any advice. And then if you are handling this on your own, just remember to always remain professional with Helen and with everybody. Handle the situation very informally, very directly. Say exactly what you mean and mean what you say, basically, for her to move forward. Again, we're not going to threaten her. You want to warn her, remain professional, be direct. Share your leadership philosophy with her. Let her know your why this is important to you, why you're doing what you're doing so that she can understand you better. She really seems to care about those around her, and she doesn't want to be this autocratic leader that Helen is wanting her to be, so she needs to share the importance of why she doesn't want to be that way so that Helen understands her and the committee members can understand her moving forward. And then if this doesn't work, I would really go into focusing on relationships with the committee members. Share your leadership philosophy with them, and let them know why you're doing what you're doing so that they can support you, because they might be supporting Helen because they know her better. Let them know why you're doing what you're doing so that they are able to best support you. And then again, always turn to your superintendent or your leadership above you for advice and guidance. So this has been the case study for EDL 852. Thank you for watching.